The NBA never sleeps. Even in the middle of off-season routines, training camps, and front office strategies, rumors emerge that send shockwaves across the basketball universe. And right now, the most electrifying report circling around the league is the one linking the Golden State Warriors to none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Milwaukee Bucks superstar and one of the most dominant forces the sport has ever seen. Could Giannis really leave Milwaukee? Could the Warriors, already a dynasty in modern basketball, pull off yet another blockbuster move to extend their championship window? The whispers are growing louder, and insiders are suggesting that Golden State is indeed preparing an unprecedented trade package, one that could reshape the NBA landscape for years to come. The Golden State Warriors are at a crossroads. With Stephen Curry still performing at a superstar level but entering the later stages of his career, the franchise faces a pressing question. How do they maximize the remaining years of their iconic leader? Klay Thompson has already moved on, Draymond Green's future has question marks, and the team's younger core, led by Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, has yet to prove itself capable of carrying the torch. For Warriors management, the message is clear. If they want to remain at the forefront of championship contention, they cannot rely solely on development and patience. They need a superstar now, someone who can both complement Curry and take over as the face of the franchise in the next era. Enter Giannis Antetokounmpo. Why Giannis? Giannis is more than just an all-NBA talent. He is a generational player, a two-time MVP, NBA champion, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year. At 6'11" with unparalleled athleticism, he combines brute force with finesse, making him nearly unstoppable when attacking the rim. But beyond his skill set, Giannis represents something bigger: stability. Any team that acquires him instantly shifts into championship mode, regardless of its roster composition. For Golden State, pairing Giannis with Curry would create perhaps the most devastating one-two punch the NBA has ever witnessed. Imagine Curry's perimeter shooting, stretching defenses, only for Giannis to bulldoze his way to the basket with no resistance. The spacing, the tempo, the versatility, it's a nightmare scenario for any opponent. The rumored trade package, of course, such a generational acquisition doesn't come cheap. Sources close to league executives claim that Golden State has been discussing the framework of a blockbuster deal that could involve multiple first-round draft picks, young talents, and possibly even one or two established veterans. The names most frequently mentioned include Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Pajimski III. Players the Warriors have groomed as the future of the franchise. Add to that a stack of unprotected first-round picks and pick swaps stretching into the late 2020s, and suddenly the Warriors have a package that could at least pique Milwaukee's interest. The Bucks, meanwhile, would be forced into a difficult decision. If Giannis begins to express frustration with the team's long-term direction, something that has been quietly hinted at in recent interviews, Milwaukee might explore the possibility of dealing him rather than risk losing him for nothing in free agency. Another layer to this saga is the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, which has made it increasingly difficult for high-spending teams to load up on stars. The Warriors are already one of the most expensive teams in league history, with massive contracts tied to Curry, Green, and Andrew Wiggins. Bringing in Giannis would require creative maneuvering, likely shipping out one of those larger deals in the process. Rumors suggest that Andrew Wiggins could be part of the outgoing package, not just as a salary match, but also as a proven veteran who still holds considerable trade value. Combining Wiggins with Kuminga, Pajimski, and draft capital could represent a starting point for negotiations. The basketball world is already buzzing at the mere thought of a Curry-Giannis partnership. Imagine the pick-and-roll combination: Curry drawing defenders to the perimeter, lobbing passes to Giannis crashing toward the rim, or Giannis drawing double teams in the post, kicking out to Curry for an open three. This duo wouldn't just be elite, they'd be unstoppable. Opponents would have to choose between defending the league's greatest shooter of all time or its most dominant inside scorer. It's a lose-lose proposition for any defense. Milwaukee is far from eager to move on from their superstar. Giannis has become the face of the franchise, delivering them a championship in 2021 and cementing his place as one of the greatest players in team history. The Bucks have worked tirelessly to build around him, acquiring Drew Holiday in 2020, Chris Middleton's extensions, and more recently Damian Lillard. But the reality is harsh. The Bucks roster is aging, injuries have been piling up, and their window for contention may be narrowing if Giannis signals that he is unwilling to commit long-term. The franchise could find itself with no choice but to consider a rebuild. And if that day comes, Golden State wants to be first in line with an offer. The rumor mill has already set social media ablaze. Warriors fans are divided. Some are ecstatic at the thought of another superstar joining their dynasty, while others fear that giving up the young core would mortgage the future. Bucks fans, on the other hand, are furious at the idea of losing their cornerstone, with many calling it unthinkable. Yet, as history has shown, the NBA is a business, and no player, not even Giannis, is truly untouchable. If the Warriors succeed in pulling off this trade, the NBA landscape will be shaken to its core. The Western Conference, already stacked with talent from Nikola Jokic's Nuggets to Luka Doncic's Mavericks, would suddenly face a Warriors squad capable of matching anyone on both ends of the floor. Meanwhile, the Eastern Conference would lose its most dominant player, tilting the balance of power even further toward the West. At this stage, the talks are nothing more than rumors. Nothing official has been confirmed by either the Warriors or the Bucks. But one thing is certain, where there's smoke, there's fire. Golden State has never shied away from making bold moves, and Giannis has never hidden his desire to compete for championships at the highest level. Whether or not this trade comes to fruition, the very possibility has already set the NBA world on fire. And if it does happen, it could mark the beginning of a new dynasty, with Giannis Antetokounmpo donning the blue and gold and leading the Warriors into a future few thought possible. For now, fans will continue to speculate, dream, and argue. But one truth remains clear. The Golden State Warriors are plotting something big, and Giannis Antetokounmpo might just be the crown jewel they've been waiting for.